Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I am Kim Warner. I'm here with you, and I'm going to just discuss a little bit of healing for the soul. I usually do healing affirmations for the soul. Many of us can see that not just that times are changing, but energy is changing, which shifts us into different dialogues, emotions, thoughts, feelings, and on and on. The thing is becoming familiar with who we are so we can know what we feel from moment to moment and day to day. I was just talking with someone and a close friend. And we were going over some information about why we do what we do. Why we do what we do is usually because of familiarity in the family, in our life circumstances. Those life circumstances are generally economics, they're generally pertaining to the social construct that we come from and the environment that we're impacted by from the beginning of our lives. And so during the discussion, we were looking at females, um, how we operate, why we do what we do, negative and positive. And one of the things that came out of the conversation is people really do not embrace healing because they are familiar with brokenness. Now, when you're familiar with brokenness, the only way that you can change that is by self undoing. I remember when I first discovered that, I had to go and look at how to self undo. You could Google that for yourself. And when you look at self undoing, it will take you into a place. Many people don't want to study psychology or astrology within the church or the religious sectors, but to do something different means that you need to look at the time and date that you were born because your destiny is connected to that. It's not about witchcraft, it's about self undoing, undoing a mindset that others gave to us. In so many ways, we follow what people said, how they said to do it, when they said to do it, but we never found our own mindsets or how to practice a life that God really gave us. To practice what God really gave us is to acknowledge how important your thoughts are. And I understand that some people don't know how to do that, which is why I teach that. I teach behavior health. I teach that you are important. I teach people that self reflection is important. It's important to sit down with yourself, it's important to be by yourself at times and not be afraid. I've met a lot of people that say, I just don't like being alone. The reason why they don't like to be alone is because they have to face things about themselves and think about themselves, whether it be good or bad. Listen, if I face the fear, if I face the thing about myself that someone said, it might be true and it may not. The key is facing that fear. Now, the unfamiliar is where we begin to move after we face it. And I could look at Moses, I could look at Jesus, I could even look at David because they walked through unfamiliar situations. They were rejected when they had been accepted. But all of those things about these men built them up, and it was destined for them to do this. Now, I'm looking at women. I'm looking at women and I'm saying how much our women, our young women need the women of wisdom, older women, to speak into their lives. Speak positive because something happened in a generation of women when the women, even in the church, began to talk about the young ladies because they were judging them, not teaching them, for instance, that what you're wearing needs a little bit of a change. Instead of teaching, they began to gossip and talk about them. This is an example, of course, because I'm not pointing at anyone. I'm just saying, if we could take judgment out of our thoughts and begin to look at people from the heart of Christ, then life would be so much different. I can't change everyone, but I could say that if there's a young woman out there that needs some help with changing her life, she could email me and I would be open to helping her or even putting her in a program with my leaders, women and men, that are mentoring and coaching others to get them on the path to believing in themselves, not hearing the voice of the stranger, such as "you're no good" or "my mother and father wasn't there for me," but knowing that God has put someone there to be a mentor or a mother by proxy of God or a father by proxy of God to help me on the path. Now, if that's you, then you're definitely welcome to reach out to me at kim.warner@27gmail.com, kim.warner27@gmail.com, because it's important in these days that we embrace our younger people. Why? Because look at the world. Look at our leaders. Are they leading our young people, who are very important, by the way, because they are the generation keepers? They are the ones to change the trajectory, but before they can change it, we have to help them to be confident in what they're able to do. It doesn't take anything for me to help someone understand themselves and build them up and help them to be confident. The hardest job that I've ever had is working with people that just didn't want to believe in who they are. They wanted to stay the same. They didn't want to change, which takes us back to brokenness is familiar. But when will you heal that brokenness? When will you do what you need to do to heal that brokenness that you've experienced? Because all of us have had it. I've experienced it. I tell my people in my groups and my sessions explicitly things that I've been through in my life. But I'm here and I've overcome. I have a birthday coming up soon. I'm here and I've overcome. So again, email me at ifwbuilders@gmail.com, because your brokenness does not have to be who you are. You can heal, but you must put in the work. All right. So you guys have a blessed day wherever you are in the world. And I will see you when you email me, or you look at Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Kim Warner, or Interfaith Wealth Builders on Instagram. And I do have classes as well. You can go to www.wealthyliving.org and look at some of my classes. Again, be blessed and really, really hear the message. Bye-bye.